It's Chef Violet. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we'll be showing you how to make samosas and spring rolls from scratch. Cooking the samosa filling, heat some groundnut oil in a pan. Add your minced onion, garlic, and stir fry for a few seconds until fragrant. Add your curry powder and thyme and let it toast slightly to release the flavors. Next, you add your minced meat and cook until it changes color and becomes crumbly. Toss in the carrots and green bell pepper, then mix very well. Add your sesame oil and stir properly. Go in with your chili powder. I'm using the supreme chili powder for this recipe, but you can try other brands as well. Then go in with your fresh parsley leaf. Make sure you stir this properly. Go in with your seasoning to taste. Stir everything together and let this cook for another minute before taking it off the heat. Once you are done, allow the filling to cook completely before using it to wrap your samosa. Cooking the spring roll filling. In an hot pan, pour in your groundnut oil and allow this to heat up. Once it's hot, you add in your curry powder and stir. After stirring it, you go in with your minced onion, ginger, sprinkle in some garlic powder, then add your green bell pepper and your pre-boiled carrot. The pre-boiled carrot, I boiled it with sugar and a pinch of salt to make it tender. After adding your carrot, you stir, then you go in with your cabbage. Make sure to stir this properly. After adding my cabbage, I noticed that this pan was too small, so I had to move it to a bigger pan where I could stir properly. I then added my sesame oil and stirred, and I went in with my fresh parsley leaf. Stir this up together. Then I went in with my light soy sauce. After adding this, I made sure to stir everything properly. Then I go in with my seasoning to taste. Mix this well and allow it to cook for a short time. You don't want the vegetables being too soft. They should still have some crunch to it. Once the filling is done, allow it to cool before you wrap your rolls. Making the wrap sheets for both samosa and spring roll. You will need a simple wrap sheet. Here's what you will need: flour, sugar, a pinch of salt and water. I will be sharing the measurements on my description box. Preparing the wrap: in a bowl, mix flour, sugar and a pinch of salt. Gradually add water, stirring continuously until you get a smooth batter. You have to keep mixing it properly. I don't like adding water all at once so that it doesn't get too watery, because the sheet wrap method I'll be using is the hand method, and I don't want it to be too light because I won't be able to make the wraps properly if it's too light. For this part, you have to make sure you mix properly. Like in our own slangs, you beat the mix very well and make sure there is no lumps. Put a non-stick pan on low heat and apply a little bit of oil. As you can see, I was using the tissue to apply the oil because you don't want the oil to be too much. Then you use your hand to spread a thin layer of the batter onto the pan, similar to making a crepe. I like going in a circular motion just to avoid breaking out the batter, because when you apply in a particular place and you go back to that same place to reapply immediately, it spoils the wrap. So you have to be careful when you are spreading the batter. It's better to go in a circular motion, that way you'll be able to control how the outcome of the wrap sheet looks. Make sure you cover any hole so that your wrap doesn't soak oil when you are frying your samosas. Allow this to cook for a few minutes until the sheet is firm. Then you remove it from the pan. Repeat this process until you have enough sheets for your samosa and spring rolls. Now that your fillings and wraps are ready, it's time to wrap them properly. Wrapping the samosa, I like to cut my samosa sheet into rectangular shapes. You can cut it into 4 or 3 places depending on how big the sheet is. But for this sheet, I decided to cut it into 2 rectangular shapes. Take a sheet and fold one side to form a cone. Fill the cone with fillings. Fold over the remaining parts of the sheet to seal the samosa using flour paste as glue. You have to make sure that your sheet is properly wrapped before going in with your filling, because if it's not closed properly, when it's time to fry, the oil gets into the samosa and it spoils the whole thing. Repeat this whole process until all your samosas are wrapped. So I like cutting out the excess part of the sheets. While some people they decide to add it to the wrap, I just prefer cutting it because I don't like my sheets looking too big. That's just my own personal preference, but if you like, you can leave the sheets like that and just fry. I'm just going to continue the same process till all my samosas are wrapped. You can see that there's no hole in my cone. This is what my samosa looks like. In the spring rolls, place a wrap sheet on a flat surface. I personally prefer my spring roll wrap sheet looking like a square. That way it's easy for me to wrap. Add your flour paste. Add some fillings to the middle of the sheet. Fold the edges inward and roll tightly to form a cylinder. And also, when making your spring roll wraps, make sure you make them smaller than that of your samosa wraps. That way it will be easy for you to wrap. and fold well properly. Once everything is wrapped, you can store them in the fridge until you are ready to fry or bake them. That's it for today's video. I have shown you how to make samosa and spring roll fillings, how to prepare the wrap sheet, and how to wrap them properly. These are perfect for storing in the fridge and frying whenever you need them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more delicious recipes. See you in the next one. Bye.